Hello there, my name is Rina Hicks. You are watching MoneyWise, and the little segment is all access into June Gachui. I am so happy to have you on the show.
To be here.
And so one of the things that just makes me wonder, as in, there are many where this beautiful friend of mine is concerned, but another one that I want to talk about is how June puts up some serious gigs. I mean, it started a long time ago, but the first one, like the first really big one you put up was your 20 years album launch. That was insane.
Yeah.
Like lights I've never seen. Yeah. That was huge.
It was huge.
It was like whoa.
Yeah.
How I don't know whether to talk about the gig first or the music. Let's talk about the gig first, then we'll get to the music.
Okay.
Who did that? Like, did you think through it, conceptualize, and then get guys to put it together? Because we haven't seen that in Kenya. Anyway.
Yeah. So what happened, so I knew I wanted to launch the album, and I really toyed with the idea of releasing the music first, and then getting people to all sort of know the music, and then they'll be able to sing along. And then I thought, no, but it has to happen this year. I don't know why it was so important. It was that year.
Yeah.
And I couldn't it was 2016, which was 20 years, and the album was called 20 Years.
Yeah.
And because I started performing in public spaces in 1996. So because of that, I was like, no, it must be this year. It must be this year. And then secondly, I then knew I couldn't do it by myself, because up until that point, I had been doing smaller shows that were fairly simple, not heavy on lighting and screens and those technical aspects of the production, but always excellent on music.
Yeah.
Right? That was the one thing we never compromised on. But then because of budget and other things, you sort of say, it's okay, one light uko that just burns you, but it makes the photos look nice, That's what we could afford, so we do that. But this one, every time I thought about the launch, it had an image in my mind that would keep coming back. I could visually see what this was gonna look like. And then I approached a couple of friends who were like, look, can we have a conversation about how are you planning to actually implement this thing? And I'm like, I don't even know, but I know I want this person to be my music director, and I want this person to help me manage the actual production, and I know I want it here. There was some 2 or 3 things that I knew for a fact. The rest I was sort of kind of I don't know. So who does lights and who does now, not the one pakan, but the lights that do the things we want. Yeah. And so I had conversations with an organization that was putting up events.
Okay.
To try and sort of share what my vision was with them and how I wanted things. And they prompted me to think about things I'd not even thought about that were necessary to complete the entire circle. But the vision, for sure, that I had, but then now who do I need to partner with along the way to make it a reality was now the process. So it started maybe 4 to 6 months before the actual concert. And so trying to figure out who we're going to work with, receiving quotes, doing site visits, going to check out gear. It was very involving. And then I met a sort of a group of people who were handling the PR and social media, which I was so hopeless at. I didn't even have a page. My page was set up a few months before the album launch, because they're like, we need to separate you, June, from Brand June, the artist. I'm like, I teach about these things when I do IP seminars, but I hadn't even done it for myself, which was so interesting. So they were very instrumental in sort of saying, who do you want people to perceive June as? I'm like, what do you mean perceive? I'm just who I am. I don't even have a stage name. It's just June Gachui. So I can wear some makeup and put eyelashes and look a bit nicer than I do in normal life. But other than that, it's pretty much the same person, right? But they said we need a page that can sort of direct and channel all the messaging. So we did that. And then at some point I was just I just want to sing. I just want to sing. You guys handle all this other sort of technical things. But I'm so grateful I went through that experience, because it taught me 2 things. One, we have so much talent in this country. It is ridiculous. We did not import anybody. Okay. My biggest joy was people coming through and seeing the set and going, was that company X or was that company Y? And I was like, no, that's some guy who did that on his laptop in his house.
Imagine.
So who does he work for? Himself. Where can I get his number? I'm like, here, take his number. Like, it's not even anything structured, and that is a good thing and a bad thing in a way, because where else would we have found this guy, right? So like the guy who did our visual performance was just a guy. I watched his stuff at, I think it was at Blankets or somewhere. He had done some stuff at a show, and I thought, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's different from what I've been seeing some of the other companies doing. So I thought, so you mean that's possible? It's not the usual lights that just do, and it starts again. Like, those are the 3 sequences of lighting I had seen at any and all shows. I was like, mine must do a lot more than that. So the second thing it taught me is that we need to find a way to make things more affordable. It was extremely expensive, and I was...
So you paid out of pocket?
I paid out of pocket.
But the tickets were not cheap.
They were not cheap.
You paid a bit of money. Did you cover your costs?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
Nope. No. Not at all.
And it was full house?
Yeah, we sold out. We sold out before the show, and it didn't make a difference. I needed to have charged you all twice what I charged you for me to even have broken even. Yeah. But because it had to look the way it looked in my head, and I was sort of uncompromising about that. I had a lot of, if I ever doubted how much love and support I had, that incident helped me know that I should never doubt. We had love offerings. We had people who were like, let me take care of this for you. Let me pay for the security. Let me pay for the catering. Because our production crew, cast, everybody, we were 90.
You were 90?
90.
You were 90?
Working for 3 months. Right? Of course, some people come the week of the show because it's the technical crew now setting up.
I've just had a moment, and then somebody comes and says, I want to be like you, Jude.
Mentor me, really? Okay, come, I show you.
Oh my gosh.
We fed, and you only know when the caterer gives you the bill. That's the only time I knew. Wamekula maragapi? No, these are the people who served once. 90 people ate. From everything, styling, hair, makeup, wardrobe changes, dancing, choreography.
PGVs, lighting.
We had 2 bands because I kind of extra, and
I love it. You're extra. But it was fantastic.
Yes,
and battle of the bands.
Yeah.
That was so much fun.
So I'm like, if all of this, and then some amazing artists who came through, who had featured on the album, My C's, Blinky Bill, Calligraph Jones. There was such amazing.
And you had to pay all of them.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to give them some things. Some were donating back because they love me, like my C's. But I pay her because I pray for her all the time. Wonderful. She's wonderful. And I cook for her when she wants to eat. Okay. But no, I mean, like, it's really expensive. So it got to a point where I'm like, there are some things we need here for this show to look the way I want it to look. Yeah. But then I also need the people to be comfortable. So we would 10 days before the show, we did a mock-up of the stage, and we ran the entire show.
10 days before.
10 days before.
Yeah,
so you're paying for venue, you're paying for all the gear, you're paying for the crew, you're feeding them because
you set it up as it would look.
Yes, yes. So that on the day we're not struggling with logistics and trying to figure out, are we nervous? You've done this thing for a whole 10 days before. You can just enjoy.
For how long?
We did a technical for 10 days.
What?
Yeah. Then we took a break for like 2-3 days so guys could rest their voices and just also like separate, because otherwise it gets boring. You can see the fatigue, and then now when we went and did the build at the National Theatre, we then had maybe 3 days 3 days before, and our tech rehearsal was a proper tech rehearsal. We had an audience and we invited the media with no phones. So they left their phones at the entrance, and they came in and watched, so that they also didn't preempt what the paying customers were gonna. And the reason we needed the audience was so that the artists could get into the, rehearsals usually are like very casual because you think it's okay. I'm like, but are you going to do that if there was somebody in the audience? I'm like, you know what? We're going to have an audience. So we just wrote and said, would you guys like to come and watch like an exclusive preview of what's going to happen tomorrow? And like nobody said no. So we had 2 shows literally. Wow. Yeah. So I mean, we paid for the venue, we paid for the gear. It's there. We might as well use it.
Yeah.
And then as we've gone, we've gotten better. We record the show now and we watch it like over lunch the next day, and we critique it. What didn't work with the lights? This light came and clashed with the screen, so what was on the screen, you know, like to that extent. It just made me so proud that we have that kind of caliber of or quality of people, and we just need to give them the opportunity. Yes, the money is a huge aspect, but also I think creatives want a platform and a space to do what it is they do.
How can we make it less expensive for the creators to put up shows like this?
Things need to be subsidized, you know, like a lot of gear gets imported and or bought with a loan, and people have to pay back the loan, so there's a number they can't go below. So we've learned to sign up, you know, with a lot of partners who have gear, and we say, look, we are doing 5 events this year, you're the guy for the 5, but don't charge me what you would charge corporate X kind of thing. And then the second thing is sort of like the frequency of it. See, like now, most of these guys were like, June, you're doing 1 show this year. Like, even if we want to give you a discount, there's only so much we can do. But that our turnaround time has now improved, you know, that we can do 4 or 5 shows in a year, which means the ability to generate more income.
So what other shows are you doing this year?
So we have the other properties we've curated are Motown.
All of June? Is that a property, or it was just one?
All of June was a reprise of the album launch for those who didn't make it.
Okay.
I'm done wasting time. I've made up my mind to leave crazy behind and move on. So I'm at a gray cloud in the sky. It's a good day. It's a good day. I just put on a happy face. Yeah. Yesterday's gone away. It's a new day. It's a good day. So I'm
and we did it for 2 nights, but also it allowed us to explore other aspects of June. So there was more a comedic aspect to it. There was dance, more than we had done in the first one. It was a lot more relaxed, because I think now we had known the material for almost a year now, and now we could just have fun with it.
And the audience knew the song.
The audience knew the songs, thank God. And, you know, they all got albums and stuff. So I think it's being
back to what shows you have?
So I have Motown in Nairobi, which is something we started in 2013. So this will be year 6 or 7, I think. And then I have an acoustic event called Bear, yeah. So that one is all original content. It's very exclusive. It's like 150 people. It's a 1-hour show.
Is that why I've never been invited?
Don't worry. That one, when you come, you will know. You know, you just know, you'll know.
The Bear?
It's called Bear.
Oh, just Bear.
Like stripped Bear. So we take away all that fancy schmancy production. It's voice, like maybe 2 or 3 instruments, and just the stories and the songs, yeah. Then there's The Hang. The Hang is, we premiered last year. It's a 90s throwback gig. And sort of it follows the same format as Motown, where we get different artists to come and like do a couple of songs each. But because the variety is what that era reminds us of, I mean, I can't sing the Marvin Gaye song the way maybe a guy can sing it, versus I can sing a Mary J song and then get a guy to do like a Will Smith or I don't know, whichever other big artists we had, Monica, Brandy, all those guys, right? Yeah, from the 90s. But the thing about these 2 shows is that they evoke nostalgia, which I think is what people miss. They miss being able to, we go for shows these days and it's so disconnected, like the artist is up there being so awesome and so wonderful, and then you're like, oi, I can't reach you, there's no connection, there's nothing. And I feel these shows by their very nature have that. So people in the audience sing. It becomes like a live karaoke session. Guys are singing along. In fact, we laugh with the artists and we're like, this one, you can't do fancy riffs and like, whoo, you know, you want to sing like, yeah, there's no time for it. Guys are like, break my heart. We're like, wow, the Kenyans are singing. Not good, they are singing. So now you do your thing, but it's like, it's so cute. It's it's a really nice feeling. But it's not, we need other shows to allow ourselves just to show off what we can do.
Oh my God.
So there's that. We're introducing a new one called Soul Train. And this one was feedback from an audience member, actually, because when we started Motown, people would be like, why didn't you play this song? Why haven't you done this song? And I'm like, but it's not Motown.
Not Motown, yeah.
Motown was a record label that had wonderful music all the way up until the 90s. And then it stopped sort of functioning as Motown. So we do music that is from the Motown record label. And most people don't know that. They think Motown is an era and anything from the 60s, 70s is just Motown, and it's not. So then they said, but what about these other songs? They're so cool. I'm like, I agree. Yeah. But that era or that genre was called Soul Train. So we thought, ooh, that's the next one we're going to do. So hopefully we'll be able to premiere that this year.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So we have The Hang, we have Motown in Nairobi, we have Bear, we have Soul Train, and then we have a tribute series that we've been running now for a few years. We started with Whitney Houston. I think we did an MJ one, and then we did Aretha last year. Yeah. So we want to add, sort of like structure it a little bit more. Because now we don't know when people are dying. They don't have a calendar, even them. They don't know. So we have a living legends. Because now you're sort of like, everyone is scrambling, you know, like, what? She died. Oh God, we have to honor her. And then. And if you don't have a budget for it, it's just like you're doing this out of love, which is okay also. They don't all have to make money. No. And some of them they're just fun. So we have a Living Legends series, and there are Fallen Legends.
Oh, I like that.
So we said also we don't want to just wait for people to die and then we remember them when they've gone. We can actually honor living legends as they are, still creating and performing. So that's a 2-part series. So one in the first half of the year and one in the second half of the year.
Hey, okay, so now all that, plus then you're a lawyer, and
yes.
then you have your own JGIP, which is an intellectual property law firm.
Yes, consultancy firm. Yeah.
Consultancy firm. And then you are on the board of the Kenya Film Classification Board.
Yes.
So, and then you're on several other boards. And you're a serious Kenyan.
Yeah, yes.
So how?
How?
Yeah, how?
Time management is the thing.
I need to learn it from you.
I'm still learning it. Like it's one of those things where you say yes to certain things, and I think I've gotten to the point where I can say no to things now. Okay. If I don't feel I want to do it, or I will do it well enough to honor whatever the thing is, I would rather respectfully decline. And also, I've learned that time is something you create. You create time or space for things that you enjoy and that you love. And I think that a lot of the time when we say I just don't have the time, it's because that thing is not important to you.
That's true.
And as soon as I understood that, now I'm like, okay, what makes me happy? What do I want to do? Right. Then you find time
to get it done.
Yeah, and if it means, okay, today I wake up 1 hour earlier and I love my sleep when I have it, because I don't sleep much.
Yeah, that's like once a month.
It's like twice a month now. Okay. I don't sleep as much as I should, but if I know, like today was a busy day and I knew I had to start a little bit earlier to be able to try and get everything else in that needed to be done or that I wanted to get done, then that's the first thing. And the second thing is that I've now learned what I'm good at and what I'm not good at. And I've started creating a team around me of people who can then help, because there's no way I can do all of this wonderful stuff by myself. Right. And at some point I just want to be the creative, to be honest. I want to be the unstructured thing. After I remove this other hat, I think about it, I plan, and I say, okay, who is good at, come, do you want a job? Okay, come, let's work together on this thing. And that's the most rewarding thing, I think, is when you're able to share the vision and realize that if you create space for other people to come and implement with you, it's even better. It's even better. They get to do what they're good at. I mean, I have somebody on my team now who makes me smile all the time because she's so even more structured than I am. And then she has to be structured with creatives. And she's always frustrated because she'll create Google documents and then say, please fill them in. And then she'll email the link and nobody will touch the link. We'll say, oh, will you want to email yangu? But we don't do it. And what has she asked us? Please give me your details, your mobile number, your email address, your food allergies if you have any, because we're going to cater at some point. Guys, don't. So then I told her, I know how we are. Now, as creatives, come with your laptop.
Yeah, and just fill it in as we
sit here as we're at rehearsal, because we can't all sing at the same time. When I'm on the microphone, sit with Angela. She'll give you her details. Then when Angela gets on the microphone, you sit with me. Take the. So your name is, your ID is, and whatever details we need in order for us to be able to put on the production. So that administrative project management side of things, I've realized that I need to get people to help. You know, I need an accountant now that there's more money sort of flowing in and out. If we're looking for sponsorship, who's going to help us set up these meetings and pitch the idea, who's going to work on the proposal. So we're structuring it almost like another line of business that could then generate income, but also create employment opportunities.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, I want to talk about the album. But
Okay.
to do that next, you are watching All Access. You're with Gachui and Rina Hicks. I'm like, wow, there's so much. I hope you're enjoying it. If you have any comments, please leave them on my comment section. If you have any questions, I'm sure I will try, I promise, to get June to answer any questions, but don't ask her to mentor you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Oh, no, we have solved that problem just now.